know, I've partnered with my friends at Acne.com. For today's video, I want to talk to you about bullying. You might be familiar with all the kinds of bullying that immediately come to our minds. Kids being cruel or cyberbullying. But we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the bully that we've got in our head. Growing up with acne affected the way that I looked at myself and the way that I thought the world perceived me. Every single time that I went out in public, whether it was to the mall or to school or even just out with my family, I always felt like people were looking at me and judging me because of my acne. It was like this endless loop of negative thoughts that just kept swirling in my head. Someone at school would say something mean that would run wild through my mind like a stampede of horses. And later that night, when I was at the grocery store and someone would look at me down the aisle, I thought that that's what they were thinking about me. This played over and over in my mind like your least favorite song on repeat until I went to bed. So how do we get those bullies out of our heads? My coping mechanisms at first were not good. I literally and figuratively ran away from my problems. And obviously that didn't work. There was one night in particular where I was having a family dinner and my dad had invited one of his friends over. He was a photographer and asked my family if he could take family photos for a project in class he was doing. Mom forced me to do it, as all moms do, and I absolutely hated it. I stood in front of that camera and I felt naked. Yes, I had makeup on, but that didn't matter because the words that just kept projecting underneath my eyelids were ugly, unworthy, stupid. Fast forward a couple months and my dad's friend again joined us for dinner. I was talking about my day, using my self-deprecating humor to talk about how ugly and unworthy I was in that moment. But when my dad's friend heard that, he stopped me mid-sentence. He said, "Are you kidding me? Do you know that the photo that I took of you for photography class won an award?" I was shocked and I didn't believe him. He told me that he thought I should model. Me? I put on my big girl pants and of course a whole bunch of concealer and I walked in and knocked on agencies' doors. I ended up getting signed and my makeup covered my acne so well that I was able to become a model. All of a sudden, I was modeling clothes. I was doing photo shoots and I was advertising different products. People looked at me and they saw pretty, beautiful, gorgeous, words that I could never equate myself to being before. And somehow in my head, that voice started to get quieter and quieter. When I stepped into a studio to do a photo shoot, I wasn't exactly me, because who was I? Just an ugly girl with acne? When I got into that position, underneath those bright lights, I was a blank canvas. I could collaborate with a photographer, with a makeup artist and a designer, and we together could create art. Even when I didn't have enough confidence to call myself beautiful, I could call the product, the art that we were creating together, beautiful. Little by little, I started to express and expose myself more. I would go out with friends. I would go out to a family dinner. That voice that told me I wasn't good enough got quieter and quieter and quieter. The more I forced myself to step into my own shoes, the more I became myself. I was no longer acne, ugly, useless, unworthy. I was Cassandra. The turning point for me was learning about my acne and how to treat it. I was empowering myself. Acne.com is a great resource for advice, for treatment options, and of course for more of the clear story. Thank you for listening to my story, and I can't wait to hear yours. Love you guys. Bye.